Looked like a pretty nice first pass. Happy with that?
No.
Not yet.
No.
Not yet.
We made a number of changes, and we got atmospheric conditions, and we just don't know which way to go yet. And they're only going to give us one more run, so we're going to have to hit it the next run.
So you'd be used to being in the 7s. So you did. Wasn't it an 811? Was it?
811, yeah. 811, yeah. But this is record-setting day for us inliners and flatheads, so of course we want to turn the best time we can to go for the record.
Yeah.
And it's been consistently in the high 7s, 790. Turned 782 once, and we're just off a little bit right now.
A little off. A little off.
Yeah.
Well, maybe you could just tell me a bit about the car.
It originally was a Jim Davis car built in 1964, and we completely modified it. You know, there's only a couple pieces of tubing in the back body that's original, but of course with today's safety rules, you can't run cars in 64. They won't pass tech, like a roll cage, and all that's completely been modified. So it's basically a new car, but the same sheet metal that he had in 64. It's the same sheet metal. So another big difference from when Jim had it, he had a Hemi Chrysler, blown Hemi Chrysler.
Slight difference.
And I have a little inline 6, just a little bit different.
What about the motor? Is this one of those Arius head?
No, this is a 292 engine. It's the later model. It's a 62 on-up engine, and it has a Duggan Sissel head on it. It's a 12-port aluminum head made in Los Angeles. Originally, they were designed in Australia, and the patterns were brought to this country, and they were used for circle track racing. And then this friend of mine, Mike Kirby, has been reproducing them here in Southern California. And this is the old head. It was designed 15 years ago, and the new one, it just came out. We designed a new one, and I just got it here just a couple of weeks ago. So possibly the first of next year, I'll come out with a new engine, with a new 12-port engine. It's the combustion chamber, the porting, everything's updated, more or less like NASCAR design, which really increases the horsepower. On the dyno, it put out close to 80 horsepower more than this head.
What would you say the horsepower of this motor is?
Well, on straight alcohol with these old heads, we put out 575 horsepower on straight alcohol, and then with nitro, we've never dynoed them, but it's close to 600-700 horsepower.
Right. Are you just running alcohol today then?
No, I'm running a little light percent of nitro.
I think you're do pretty good time just for alcohol, I guess.
Well, yeah, well, that'd be too good for alcohol today, because we got the heat and everything here today now, and that's hurting the motors.
Is this
not tuned correctly? It's not tuned, because I've been experimenting with some high-speed lean outs, and I've been bouncing back and forth, and it kind of fouls you up. Plus, I put a new bigger Hillborn pump on it, and that changed the fuel jetting too.
Yeah. Well, what's your 60-foot times like? It looked like it left pretty strong.
Well, it was bad today. It was 123, I think, but
bad?
Well, it's done. Let's see. It's done a 108 here just a month ago. 108. And it constantly stays in the teens, like 12, 13, 14, 15, 12, 13. Yeah. And I experimented on taking off just now, and it didn't work right. I didn't use any tranny lock at all, just used the brake and just flashed.
Left off the foot brake.
It just let up and flashed the converter, yeah.
Right. What's the car weigh?
Well, when I originally built the car, it was just 1,200 pounds. Now it's probably about 1,275. Plus I have 50 pounds of shot up in the front to hold the front end down.
Right.
You know, we might take a little out too. It's not lifting at all.
No.
You might take 15.
I'm good
15, yeah, take 15, 20 pounds out. Thank you.
And now that we're talking about it, and you just on the bars off the back and make sure you don't feel like you need a wing or anything to at the back end.
No, I got a little wing up in front, holds the front end down, and the wheelie bars, you don't see no lift on it. No.
Right.
If your car lifts like that, you got something wrong. You better rebalance it.
Or you like it or something.
Yeah, well, the wheelie bars unload the rear wheels, and that just throws you into the wall. That's all that'll do. Yeah. So I don't run. I just quit running wheelie bars.
Right.
I got them hanging up in the trailer, just sitting there.
Right. And did you actually build the car yourself by and large then?
Yeah, I rebuilt the car, you might say, from when Jim originally had it, and I redone all the body and built a whole new front end, built everything up new, and yeah, basically me and my helper, we did it all together. Yeah, and we've been working on it for about How many years now on this thing? About 5 years? Bobby, about 5 years on this car?
5 years too long.
5 years.
Okay, right. And it's through a glide here, is that right?
Yeah, it's
Yep.
through a GCI glide.
Right.
It's got a Continental converter.
Right.
It's got strange rear axle assembly, 40 spline axle, which is an overkill, but it's safer.
Anything you can, any stories you can tell us?
No, let's see. No, it's just when I first built it, I had the engine back all the way, and I tried to get carried away on getting too much traction, and the front end was in the air all the time, and boy, I'll tell you, that was mid-track, it was flying, and well, I'll tell you, it's a thrill to drive these things when you can't steer them, and I changed that the next year right away, and that was about the only really bad experience. One time I had the wheelie bar, long wheelie bar on, I had it too long, and when I shut off, it started bouncing, and it bounced it like a spring.
Yep.
And it threw the back end completely off the ground, where it was standing up on its nose, and I thought it was going to go over forward.
Would that be here in the left lane by any chance, or another track?
It was in the left lane, yeah.
This is
about 5 years ago.
Yeah. I had a similar experience.
Really?
Yes.
Back wheels come off the ground, and it started bouncing, and it got. I was looking down at the ground. I thought it was going to go over forward. It bounced so high.
And they fixed it pretty much here, but yeah.
The wheelie bar acted as a spring, see, and it just kept setting it up more and more and more. That was pretty scary. Other than that, being long like this is 200 inches long. Normally it just goes straight. It went straight that last one, I think. It went good and straight. Yeah, just smooth and straight.
Right.
I can't use a tranny lock. If I use 2, 3, 4, 5, 6,000 stall, it just melts the tires. They won't hold. No matter what tires I put on it, what air pressure, what I do to it.
Absolutely blazes them off.
Blazes the tires right off. That's why I have to come off from an idle to try to get it hooked up.
Right. Well, it's a beautiful car, and it was people around the stands and around the starting line loved the pass. Absolutely, and looking forward to more of it.